Your past isn't the final page.
You can reinvent yourself, starting today. Today,
Opportunity, progress, reinvent. I'm Steve.
welcome to SteFee.
Have you ever looked at your life and thought, I should have started earlier? Maybe you wanted to learn English. Maybe you wanted to change your career. Maybe you wanted to start a business, travel, study, exercise, or simply become a better version of yourself. And then you thought, it's too late now.
But what if that thought is completely wrong? What if you're not late? What if you're simply at the beginning of a different chapter?
Exactly. Welcome back to Speak English with SteFee. Today, we're talking about something that can completely change the way you look at your life. It's never too late to start again.
I think one of the biggest mistakes people make is believing that their past has already decided their future. They look at their age, they look at their mistakes, they look at missed opportunities, and they think, well, I can't change anything now.
But the past is information. It is not a life sentence. You can learn from it without living inside it.
That's an important sentence. Learn from it without living inside it. Because sometimes we spend so much time thinking about what we should have done that we forget to ask a better question. What can I do now?
Let's imagine someone who spent 10 years working in a career they didn't enjoy. They wake up one morning and realize, this isn't the life I want. What should they do?
They could start again.
Even after 10 years?
Yes, they might not be able to erase those 10 years, but they can use those 10 years as experience. Maybe they learned communication, maybe they developed discipline, maybe they built relationships, maybe they discovered what they don't want. All of that knowledge can become useful in the next chapter.
That's the key. Starting again doesn't mean starting from zero. It means starting with experience.
Exactly, and that's a useful phrase for our English learners. Start from scratch means to begin something from the very beginning. But starting again doesn't always mean starting from scratch. Sometimes you're starting with knowledge, experience, and lessons that you didn't have before.
Here's another useful word, reinvent. To reinvent yourself means to make significant changes in your life, career, or identity. For example, she reinvented herself and became an entrepreneur.
Another useful word is opportunity. An opportunity is a good chance to do something, and here's something important. Opportunities don't always arrive at the perfect time. Sometimes you have to create them.
That's true. People often wait for the perfect moment, the perfect job, the perfect amount of money, the perfect level of confidence. But the perfect moment rarely arrives.
Sometimes you have to begin before you're ready.
That's one of the biggest lessons in life. You don't need to feel completely prepared before taking the first step. You can learn while you're moving forward.
And here's another powerful word, persistence. Persistence means continuing to do something even when it is difficult. If you fail once, you try again. If you fail twice, you learn and try again.
Which brings us to another important word, setback. A setback is a problem or failure that delays your progress. But a setback doesn't mean the journey is over. It simply means you need to adjust your direction.
I love that idea. Because sometimes people treat one failure like a final result. They say, "Dallas, I failed, so I'm not good enough." But failure can simply mean, this approach didn't work.
Exactly. There is a huge difference between saying, I failed, and saying, I learned something.
And that brings us to one of my favorite quotes. Your next chapter can be better than your last.
I love that. Your past can explain where you came from, but it doesn't have to decide where you're going.
So let's make this practical. If you're listening right now and you've been thinking about starting something again, don't try to change your entire life tomorrow. Start small.
Learn 10 new English words, read 5 pages, exercise for 15 minutes, send that application, write the first page, make the first phone call, take the first step.
Because progress doesn't always look dramatic. Sometimes progress is simply showing up again.
And here's another useful phrase, take the first step. It means to begin taking action toward a goal. For example, I don't know exactly where this journey will take me, but I'm ready to take the first step.
And here's another one, turn the page. It means to leave the past behind and begin a new chapter. You can say, I'm ready to turn the page and start again.
Maybe that's exactly what someone listening needs today. You don't need permission to begin again. You don't need to explain your decision to everyone. And you don't need to compare your timeline with somebody else's.
Your journey is your own. Someone might start at 20. Someone else might start at 40. Someone might start at 60. The important question isn't, why didn't I start earlier? The better question is, what can I start today?
Because imagine where you could be 1 year from now if you started today. Imagine the English you could speak, the skills you could develop, the places you could visit, the people you could meet, the person you could become.
And remember this, small steps can create big changes.
So, if you've been waiting for the right moment, maybe this is your moment.
If you've been waiting until you're ready, start learning.
If you've been afraid of making mistakes, make them, learn from them, and continue.
And if you've been thinking that it's too late, remember, it's never too late to start again.
Your past is part of your story, but it is not the final page.
You can learn, you can grow, you can change direction, you can reinvent yourself, you can take another chance.
And you can start today.
Before we finish, here's your English challenge. Complete this sentence. Today, I will start cake. Maybe it's learning English, maybe it's exercising, maybe it's reading, maybe it's applying for a new job, maybe it's simply believing in yourself again.
Write your sentence in the comments and remember these words: opportunity, persistence, setback, reinvent, progress. And these phrases: start from scratch, take the first step, turn the page, start again.
Thank you for spending this time with us. Keep learning, keep growing. And never forget that a new beginning can start with one small decision.
It's never too late.
Start where you are
Use what you have.
and take the next step.
I'm Steve.
And I'm Fee.
We'll see you in the next episode of Speak English with SteFee.
Keep speaking English and keep building your story.
See you next time.